Right, Lucie, thank you for having us. What showed the analysis of the transmission dynamics of the early coronavirus epidemic in other countries?
So we first analyzed the transmission dynamics in China, and we learned two things: that the virus is spreading extremely quickly and that it can be transmitted before people show symptoms. So people can infect other people before they themselves fall ill.
What does the app has to offer? How does it work, basically, in plain English, for people that they're looking at this with a lot of hope?
The app uses low energy Bluetooth to measure the distance between two phones and how long these phones have been in contact, and it uses this information to calculate how likely it is that one person infected the other. So if one of the two people who've met later experiences symptoms and becomes ill with coronavirus, the other person can be notified and asked to stay at home to prevent this other person from infecting even more people.
What simulations were done here in the UK?
We modeled a city of 1 million inhabitants and tested different versions of the app to see which one would be the best solution. And what we found is that all versions of the app can significantly reduce the number of people that are infected and the number of people that will die from COVID. If the uptake in the population is about 60%, we can avert one infection for each 1 or 2 people who download the app.
How accessible is the app for the vulnerable and the elderly groups?
The app is obviously accessible to everybody who has a smartphone, but there are other options. For example, one could use other Bluetooth devices potentially that are much cheaper to give access to everybody.
What would be your advice for the people in the Americas? I mean, as a professional and on a personal level.
The most important thing is that if you experience symptoms, you stay home to prevent spreading the disease to others. And from a public health point of view, again, the most important thing is to find people who have been infected and enable them to prevent other people from catching the disease. So that means test, and trace.